Drifting wreckage can be deadly as dynamite to small boats like mine. That's what I was on the lookout for, at the request of the United States Coast Guard. I'm Mike Nelson. I'm a member of the Coast Guard Auxiliary. From time to time, like now, after heavy storms, we help the regulars clean up the coastal waters. I didn't run across any debris, but I finally ran into what looked like trouble. The big seagoing cruiser was hove to broadside to the waves. No skipper would be guilty of such poor seamanship without good cause. Engine trouble, fouled up steering gear, or something of that sort. In any case, he'd probably need help. I circled the cruiser. There didn't seem to be any sign of life.
Anybody aboard? Anybody aboard? Hey, what do you think you're doing, mister?
I thought you needed some help.
I do not.
Can you get underway on your own?
Yeah. Get out of the way.
You don't argue with a high-powered rifle. Not if you have any other way of winning. I thought that I did. The cruiser rated investigation, I thought. But that was just a civilian opinion. I felt I should report it to the Coast Guard, so I called Commander Jim Greer. The commander heard me out carefully, but what interested him most was the cruiser's position. She was lying about 1,000 yards out from Hatter's Cove, a tiny little known inlet.
That's no man's land, Mike. You could build a missile launcher there, gantries and all. Nobody'd spot it for weeks. Over.
Well, isn't that reason enough to investigate?
Hardly. But that rifle business doesn't sound good. You'd better sheer off.
I haven't given you much of a basis for official action, have I?
No, you haven't. You think you could give him another look without getting shot?
I can try.
Very well, Mike. Check back with me the minute you can.
There were 2 men in diving gear on board. I had no way of knowing what they were doing, but after the reception I got, I knew that it wasn't anything good. I decided to take an underwater look. The 2 divers were already in the water. One was obviously a beginner, being led by the other. They were heading toward the shore. Fortunately, they seemed so occupied with themselves, they didn't notice me. the smaller man made the team move so slowly that I had to stop to avoid catching up with him. When I surfaced, the divers were already on shore. I noticed a speedboat anchored in the cove.
What were you trying, punk? To kill me? To drown me, huh?
You know what would have happened to you?
How you feeling? You okay?
Yeah, I'm great. No thanks to you, though. I'm back again, see? I'm back again.
The face was familiar. The husky voice, too. I couldn't tie a name to them, but something told me that it was a bad one. I was never so right in my life.
Who's that?
It's Danny. Mr. T. Good to see you.
Well,
Welcome home.
Danny, the size of you.
It's been 5 years, Mr. T.
Yeah, but like 50 on the other side.
Now it all came back. The Crime Commission hearings. And their prime target, this same Mr. T. He entered this country illegally and operated illegally until he was deported. Now he was back, again illegally. Why?
We got a lot to make up for, kid.
You will. You'll have to take it slow, of course.
Why?
As Paul says, things have changed.
Paul, he hasn't changed. He's still chicken. But I'm gonna change things back. With this, the old persuader. Well, what are you waiting for? Where's my clothes?
Paul's bringing them. He'll be here with the car any minute.
What was I waiting for? I had to inform the authorities immediately.
Hold it!
Hey, you turn around. Turn around! Hey, that's the guy that was nosing around the cruiser today.
Yeah, you're right.
Danny, he knows how I got in.
Oh, yeah?
What are you waiting for? This joker's gotta go.
I was just listening for the car. This is a tough place to find, you know.
Well, it sounds like they found it.
Yeah,
Hey, you know what, Danny? We'll let Paul take care of him, huh?
sure. Through the tunnel, Paul.
Hello, Paul. Where's my clothes?
Right here. Come in, boys.
My one thought was to escape underwater fast. Instinctively, I pulled the helpless gangster to safety with me. I knew that it was my responsibility to turn him in alive if I could, and he was in no position to refuse any kind of help. We moved out as fast and as far as we could. I figured we'd have enough air to stay underwater until we reached my boat.
Don't waste ammo.
I'm not so sure, Paul. We may have hit him.
That boat over there might be that diver's. Could be where he's taking Mr. T. All right, here it is. You two, set yourselves up on that hill behind this cove. If they stick their heads out anywhere between here and that boat, chop them off. You miss too, and I'll stick those fancy scopes down your throats. Now move.
We had gone quite a distance, maybe far enough. I signaled Mr. T to surface so we could get our bearings. Those shots came so fast and so close, I didn't have time to look around.
You run that putt-putt?
Sure.
Come on, then.
My newfound buddy, Mr. T, didn't like it, but that was just too bad. We had to get to my boat, and we had to stay underwater all the way. There, I thought we'd be safe, for a while at least. Then something came along to kill that idea, fast. The speedboat. Mr. T's executioners, on their way out to finish the job. Two gunmen, intent on killing Mr. T, and me too, are approaching my boat.
You hit it all right. This is his boat. Nice. Too bad he had to tie in with Mr. T. Too bad for him.
Hasn't cost him anything so far, except a bath. Those hotshot riflemen missed them both by a country mile. Want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. I guess I'll have to stick around on this tub till that diver comes up with Mr. T.
Okay, I'm gonna stretch out. It's a Coast Guard boat.
What? Coast Guard Auxiliary.
This joker only happens to be a flotilla commander.
Anything else?
Two-way radio. Wanna bet he didn't flash the Coast Guard before he took the bath?
You handled that little boat pretty good. You handle this one?
Yeah, what's the deal?
I think he did call the Coast Guard. We're getting out of here before they show.
What about Mr. T? If we don't get him now, he'll get us.
Maybe. But if we stick around, no maybe. That Coast Guard packs artillery. Come on, get with it.
Anything yet?
No, sir.
How long's it been now, exactly?
Last contact made at 15:18. It's 25 minutes ago, sir.
Well, that's not so long. We'll be hearing from him soon. You keep me informed.
Aye, aye, sir.
Mr. T would have been a problem in 6 feet of water with unlimited air. Out here in deep water, with his air running out, he became a menace to life, his own and mine. He deserved whatever lay waiting upstairs, but I couldn't let him face it alone. My boat was nowhere in sight, but the riflemen were. From the beginning, Mr. T had been afraid of the water, but now he was really panicking. It was all I could do to handle him. There wasn't any time to argue. I had to use force. Finally, I knocked some sense into him. They kept firing for another few minutes. Then they stopped. Now our air was just about used up. We had to surface, hoping we were out of range.
What's the matter?
Why'd we stop?
We had to.
They're not shooting anymore.
No, we're out of range.
Hey, that's great. Great, man. Listen, I won't forget you for this. Just see, the minute you get me back to shore.
I'd be lucky to get myself to shore now.
Look, I'm in on your boat.
He's gone.
Don't rub me. I don't like it, man.
No, she's gone just the same.
What are we going to do? Maybe another boat will come along.
Yours was the first boat I'd seen all day.
Well, what are we going to do?
Float.
I can't float.
You can with a wetsuit on. Here, let me take your weight bill off.
No report from Nelson yet?
No, sir.
It's been nearly an hour now. You better try and raise him again.
Argonaut the 2nd, WM2050. This is Coast Guard Radio. Over. Argonaut the 2nd, WM2050. This is Coast Guard Radio. Come in, please.
You know what I got stashed away on the other side? 2 billion, 3 billion, I don't know myself for sure. Well, 10% of it is yours if you get me out of this, so help me. 25%. Well, what do you want, for Pete's sakes? Tell me, I'll get it for you.
Shut up! Save your strength. I'll keep us alive as long as I can. 10 million won't buy you a minute more.
Argonaut the 2nd, WM2050. This is Coast Guard Radio. Come in, please. Want me to keep trying?
No, he'd have responded by now if he could. There's a helicopter standing by. I'm going out there.
Take it easy now. Come on, get on your back again. Come on. All right. Relax.
This is it. Hatter's Cove. Due north now. Low and slow.
It's a helicopter!
Over there, come here! Over here! Over here! Where? Come back! Come back! Take it easy now. You hear me?
There's no sign of Nelson's boat, so we might as well turn back.
Very well.
I see him. Bring her about.
Roger.
Right, Mike?
I am now.
What happened?
It's a long story. I'll tell you when we get back to the base.
We're not going back.
Give me that gun.
Are you kidding? You better tell that guy to head back to shore. Get over there, you.
Give me that gun.
You got 3 seconds to tell him your buddy here knows I don't kid around.
Will you give me that gun?
You better shout and tell him to go. No!
And overboard. Take it down. What's it all about, Mike? Who was he?
You remember a guy by the name of Vincent Turner who was deported several years ago? Now, that's who it was. He's going to start up his dirty business all over again.
Looks like he didn't quite make it. That fall would have killed anybody. Lieutenant called for a cutter. Tell him to recover the body.
Yeah, tell him to keep an eye peeled for my boat on the way.
You got that, Lieutenant? Tell him to pick up Mike Nelson's boat.
Roger.
Hi, I'm Lloyd Bridges, inviting you to join us for another action-packed story of underwater adventure 1 week from today.